Hello and welcome. I'm still Linking X2 and today we will go over stage 2 in our How to Draft series. If you've missed any of the previous parts, you can click in either of these corners to look them up. This stage will cover the ban phase, the first one to be exact, and we'll go over the different types of bans and certain strategies that you can use to get yourself edges early on and set your team up from success from the start. Before we dive too deep into it here, a quick note. How each side will approach the ban phase is obviously heavily influenced by the meta. For example, in the past there were patches where there were 3 OP champions. As such, the red side had little freedom in the ban phase. But covering these direct strategies later on, first let's talk about different types of bans, as they depend on the intended effect and the certain type of champions being banned. So I would classify this as forced bans. This includes OP champions from the meta, necessary ones, so one tricks or champions where players have insane mastery on, for example Ruler's Kalista. And then there are free bans, so there you are free to do what you want. This can include comfort target bans, for example Azir versus BDD, matchup preparation, so you ban Quinn to pick up Renekton later. Pool bans, these can be aggressive or defensive. Aggressive ones would be banning Echo or Ryze against players like Jizuke, and defensive ones would be Genji banning Seraphine on blue side, because BDD can play her. The different sides of the Rift obviously vary in their approach of the pick and even ban phase due to the dynamics of the order of picks and the lane layout. For the blue side, usually they're quite free in their ban approaches. They don't have to ban the OP champions as they want to first pick them themselves. Yes, they have to look out that the red side does do their fair share of banning, as in a 3 OP meta they don't want to trade 1 OP versus 2s, but usually they don't have to worry about that. As such, they're able to make use of their free bans, so this obviously in accordance to the enemy's roster and champion pool. Against certain opponents, it is needed to make use of necessary bans or defensive champion pool bans, which again, a quick reminder, ties into stage number 1. So if you fail to pick up OP champions into your repertoire, you have to ban them yourself on blue side. But a little trick that you can use to cover this, as red side usually has the onus on them to ban the OP picks. Meaning if you don't ban the OP champion immediately and wait for it, the red side, they might do that for you. So wait till your last moment if you have to ban an OP champion on blue side. For the red side, it's the side that is mostly impacted by the game's meta. Usually you have to ban from 1 to 3 OP picks, for example back in the days Camille, Rengar, LeBlanc times, or at the moment with Seraphine being super strong. So the chance to be creative, is there, maybe go for a 1 to 2 OP trade, but here the red side can also be the side that can mostly make use of stage number 1. Due to scouting, if you know the enemy does not play any of the OP champions, or they can't play them to the maximum power, you could leave it open, or you have maybe prepared a niche specific counter pick to one of the OP picks of the patch, and then you can let them pick through and get an extra ban. For the blue side, I mentioned that they should wait with their OP bans, and the red side can do something similar. They have the last ban. With that, they can answer any sort of setup that the blue side might have done. For both sides, the exact type of ban, besides forced bans due to the existence of OP champions, is dependent on yours and your opponent's champion pool and playstyle. There are a multitude of ways to use the tool that is the ban, and you can be quite creative with it or stay more on the safer side. It is the first step of the champion select, so it's also the first way to get the edge in the draft process. Each side has their advantages and disadvantages in this first ban process. Starting with the blue side, they have some really good ones. They first don't have to ban meta champions. This obviously frees up more spots for free bans, and mistakes in preparation like not learning a champion or not finding a good counter can be covered more easily due to the added bans. they can force bans on red side, for example in a 2-champion meta in the AD carry position. If they ban one of them, then the red side has to ban the other one, otherwise you will get a first pick of an S tier champion. Some light disadvantages that the blue side has is that they're the first to act, so that means red has the counter, they have the reaction option. Some light and okay advantages that the red side does have here is they have the last ban, so as I mentioned, with that they can deny the entire setup that the blue side might have done for certain matchups and certain strategies. And they're also the one who can really throw the curveballs by leaving OPs open, for example, or looking for the mentioned trades. They do have some harsh disadvantages, and yeah, just to mention it once again, they usually have the onus on them to ban the OP champions, which will limit their usage of free bans. That means they can obviously prepare less for matchups and set themselves up a bit less than the blue side does usually. This can be concluded for the blue side having some decent edges here in the first ban phase, which they can use to snowball even further with the first pick, so they usually come out swinging after the first step. Red side has some chances to do well here, but they have to put in a bit more work and also need some luck with the meta state on their side. So that covers stage number 2, a small stop in the series, but an important step in the champion select. I will not go over some exact ban examples in a part 2, as I have given some examples in the course of this video. If you really want more information though, or explicit examples, let me know down in the comments below and I will address that right away. Looking at the next stage, stage number 3, we will take a look at the first pick phase. So stay tuned for that, and yeah, you might want to subscribe to not miss out on that. And if you liked what you saw today, maybe consider giving the video a thumbs up. It really helps out a lot. That's it for today though. Please stay safe. Have a great day. Till next time. Bye.